is from Imam Bukhari. So he's a famous hadith expert, together with Imam Ahmad, Ibn Muslim, Abu Dawood, Tirmidhi, and Nasai, Ibn Majah. But yet again, they forgot about Hanbal. These guys are so clever. And we always, his story and what it says about him. But there's an important part after, and I did like a specific search. All right, yeah, here we go. So now, there's his students. Number of people who had narrated the hadith from Imam Bukhari is unknown. However, as per some sources, around 90,000 people had heard the hadith directly from Imam Bukhari. Among the students of Imam al-Bukhari are, and so here we got all, the list of all the people who they say are students. And it says here, Imam Bukhari has written many books during his life. His work is not only in the discipline of the hadith, but also other sciences such as tafsir, fiqh, tariq. So he's written all these books, and his most famous book of Bukhari is a collection of Sahih hadith. So now, remember, he wrote those in the 9th century, and he died in 850. Yeah, but here's what the problem is that, see, you have all these different manuscripts with pieces of Bukhari in it. But what we're looking for, of course, is, he's therefore not as concerned with the disappearance of original manuscripts. So this guy explains that Sahih al-Bukhari's transmission rests primarily on the medium of oral transmission, not on manuscripts. Oh, dear me. So notice that. So for Islam, Bukhari is based on oral transmission. So what that then means is that if someone is reciting Bukhari orally who's a liar, guess what? You're just going to have to accept his lies, isn't it? There's a reason why people do manuscripts. It is a very obvious reason. Because when the liar comes along, you pull out the manuscripts and then, the guy's gone, essentially. That's why you have manuscripts. Because the whole point of a manuscript is to spot the liar. So for the fact this guy is saying is that Sahih al-Bukhari's transmission rests primarily on the medium of oral transmission. So all those people who are liars who transmitted Bukhari, that's it. You're done. You don't have, because you don't have an original. Sorry, the liars can get away with it. So those liars, they can say whatever they want to say, and you'll never know if they're lying or not. Why? Because you don't have an original manuscript. And this is, but of course, these Muslims, they love making up excuses. So I'm trying to find, it's so hard trying to look up anything relating to manuscripts of Bukhari. So let me try Islam QA, see if, because Islam QA is always good for a laugh. He's asking about original copies of Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. Yeah, of course he is. What do you expect? There are some of the Shia, definitely. There are some of the Shia who cast aspersions upon the authenticity of Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. Their main argument is that there are no original copies of these two books in the handwriting of the authors, whatever. Oh, wait. But the Muslims keep asking the Christians, where is the original Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John? They say, oh, we don't have it. He says, the Christian faith is false. What? I don't know what just happened there. The Christian faith is false. But guess what? You ask the Shias are now asking these Sunni scammers the same question. He says, where is Bukhari a Muslim? And this poor guy's asking, I hope that you can give a complete answer and settle the matter. So let's see. Islam QA is about to settle this question finally. Let's see what they have to say. Praise be to some guy. One of the most important things that the educated Muslim or the Muslim who is acquainted with classical legacy made-up nonsense should understand is that stirring up doubts is easy and is something that anyone could do. To stir up doubts about anything, even about basic givens and common sense issues on those on which people base their rational thinking, i.e. history, not Islamic history or Islamic nonsense. The matter may even go so far that some of those who got carried away with doubts and specious arguments ended up denying their own existence. Yeah, we deny the existence of Islam, that's for sure, and doubted everything around them. Yeah, I think Muslims are in that position, which led to them being admitted to being admitted to a mosque, because they drifted so far from common sense and sound non-Islamic nature. This is how we deal with many so-called specious arguments, which are in reality nothing but illusions. Well, Islam is an illusion, that's for sure, uttered by some people who are causing us trouble at this time. This always compels us to start from the very beginning in establishing principles of sound rational thinking, i.e., don't be a Muslim, in various fields of knowledge and education. What is mentioned in the question, the reason why I'm reading through this is because this is supposed to be a top scholar, and he's going to say some nonsense at some point. I haven't even read this. This is the first time I read this, but because this scholar's a Muslim, they always have to say some nonsense, and I'm just waiting for him to get to it. So let's carry on. What is mentioned in the question is one such example. If what the questioner meant by original copies is manuscripts that the author wrote in his own hand, in according to what rational thinking or logic, can it be said that it is essential that the original manuscripts be extant in order to accept that a particular book is correctly attributed to its author? And the answer is, in the 9th century, the answer is yes. How many books are there in the world since people learned how to write that could meet this irrational condition? The Codex Sinaiticus, Codex Vaticanus, and Codex Alexandrinus. They're from the 4th and 5th century, and we have them now. They still exist. You can go and even look at them, and they've got copies of them online where you can read every single page. But yes, the Christians are actually serious about their history. So let's see what this comedy guy carries on saying. In order to understand how irrational those who stipulate that condition are, all you have to do is imagine that one of them entered a venerable library, or well-known publishing house, or international bookstore. So notice what's happening here. This scholar is rambling on. He's talking a load of nonsense. But all the guy had to do is tell you when the oldest manuscript was. But notice he's rambling, and there's a reason why. I will not accept the attribution of any books you have in the huge store unless you give me the original manuscript written by the author themselves, so that I will be certain that these books are soundly attributed to their authors. Doing this will be ignoring all the customs and academic and legal requirements which guarantee to us nowadays that the book is sound, and that it will not be claimed by anyone other than the author, such as requirement. All right, let's skip this part. He's just talking nonsense now. We know for certain that some of those who specialize in producing specious arguments know deep down in their hearts how foolish and silly are the things they suggest and say. Like I say, I'm reading this because I know that this guy is a comedian. And this is one thing I like about Islamic scholars, is that they're very good at comedy. So let's carry on with this comedy that he's speaking. But at the same time, they're persisting saying it because they know that merely stating this specious with regard to anything that exists will inevitably have some influence on people's hearts and minds. Yeah, of course it does, because that's what you do to the Christians. But now these Muslims are getting a piece of it, they're on themselves, and they're getting upset. Hence, whatever results he gets will suffice him, even if he only manages to confuse a few people. What matters to him is that he shuffles the cards and causes confusion with regard to sound ways of thinking, yet don't become a Muslim. Okay, we're still scrolling down, trying to wait for an answer. However, Sahih al-Bukhari was heard by 90,000 men from Imam al-Bukhari himself, as was stated by one of his most famous students, namely some Farbari. Al-Farbari's narration of Bukhari was famous because he lived for a long time and was precise in copying it out. He heard it from al-Bukhari over 3 years, then a number of trustworthy narrators learned it from him, and from them this book became well known. So I said I copied the book. Alright, so Bukhari was copied. Right. So these are just this is information from Islam. What he's doing, he's going through the list of people who've made copies of Bukhari, and right, we heard this Sahih, the copy of the. So he's giving. This is what Muslims do. You have to understand. An Islamic scholar will recite a whole load of stuff that he's been told by his own teachers. And so he's explaining about how they read their books to the students, and the students would read their books to them. Then these books, so books. There were no printing presses or publishing houses at that time. Instead of printing presses, there was the narration of students with strong isnads. That makes no sense. What would any researcher find more authentic than transmission of trustworthy narrators narrating from the manuscripts that were read to and checked with the author himself and approved? Yeah, but remember, this is what happened with the Bible, obviously. If you want to ask how old the manuscripts that are extant today are, the Orientalist Manjana said in Cambridge in 1936 that the oldest manuscript that he had come across up to that point was written in 370, so that's 9, 620, 728, 2920, so that's about 990. But that's a narration. One of the most famous manuscripts of the book that has come down to us in modern times is a copy of some guy, which he copied from the manuscript written by this guy, which was read to Abu Dar, and has his writing on it too. Borrowed the library of Tobruk in Libya. That comes. So this is 514. So that's 6, 7. That's about 11. That's the 12th century. Okay. And there's also a copy of the Imam and Hafiz who's known as such and such. He checked it against the original copy that was read to the. Yeah, okay, and so on. If we were to keep listing the copies of Sahih that are extant in the manuscript libraries of the world and how close they were to the time when that Sahih was written, a large number. So there's all these locations of different manuscripts. Right, okay. So what he's doing, he's giving like a long list of places where the manuscripts are. Okay, so what he's done, he's given a whole load of information, but here's the important part that I'm going to say, and that is that if this guy was serious, he would have given you a link to a web page which gives you photographs of these manuscripts. All he's done is quite a load of names. That's the thing, and this is what Muslim scholars do. He thinks that by quoting a whole load of names, that this is what validates Bukhari. He says no. With the Codex Sinaiticus, there's a web page which has photograph where you can get a photograph of every single page of the manuscript. I'm still waiting for these manuscripts for them to come online and for the Muslims to actually show that they actually have the correct text and that it matches, what is in Bukhari. But of course, the Muslims ain't going to do that. Although apparently the Sheikh said that something like that did exist, but I'm gonna have to you probably have to sit and wait forever for some Muslim to turn up, who actually has got any actual information, relating to these original manuscripts of Bukhari. And where is it? So here's the important thing. So Bukhari, he was around in 850, and let me just check. Yeah, so he was around in 850, and Codex Sinaiticus was in Sinai. Well, let's say, all right, Sinaiticus wasn't really around. The one which was around was, of course, Vaticanus, which is in the Vatican. And that was in the Vatican from the 4th century or 5th century. I'm not sure. I think it's the 4th century. Or it could be 5th. I can't remember. But Vaticanus was in the Vatican, let's say 5th century. I just started looking something up, but it looks like they've deleted it for some reason. I don't know why. Right. Okay, I'm just trying to find something to do with it's just some old text. So, so here's the thing. So Bukhari, he died in 850, and this scholar is making all these excuses about he's making all these excuses about we don't have original copies of Bukhari, but this and that guy copied it, and then we have these manuscripts which are supposedly copied from the original. Of course, the guy who copied that manuscript could have like made a load of stuff up, but you just don't know that. Um, but here's the thing: Bukhari died in 850. Now, this I found this page, and look at this. This is called the Tanakh Gospels, and date is 690 to 710. That's before Bukhari was born, and the medium is parchment, and dimension is 355 by 260. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is pretty impressive. Look at the quality of the the parchment. It's amazing stuff. I remember it's what is it? It says it's named after the monastery of Echternach, Luxembourg, founded in 698. And it says although this manuscript was at Echternach by the first half of the 8th century, it's uncertain whether it was written there or by a scribe from the Northumbrian monastery of Lindisfarne. The text and decoration also reflect Irish influences. Each of the four Gospels begins with a page dedicated to an evangelist symbol, the man of Matthew. Yes, and actually, let me see. It's got let's see if this website loads. But notice, look at the quality of this text. Remember, this is from 690 to 710. 710 is before Bukhari was born. Bukhari wasn't even born in 710. So they had this gospel. Look at how good this manuscript is. It's amazing, isn't it? The quality of the writing this is amazing stuff, and this is from the 8th century. And wow, is this for real? Man, this is serious, isn't it? It's just that they've got this. Looking at this page. All right, so wow, this is impressive. So what it is? This is I don't know. I'm just trying to look. I think this is a picture of the library. I'm just trying to check out. Because it's just that you've got this place in France which has got these library, and look at it. All right, what this is in Virgilia Quattor. So the publication date is 690 to 710. So this book is from the 8th century, and this is the actual book itself. This is the actual book in some French library where they've digitized the pages. And look at the quality of that. Remember, this is from 710. And this looks really impressive. I mean, this is some serious stuff. Look how good that drawing is. I'm going through the pages here, and you can see that this is like some high quality. The paper looks really good, even though it's blank. I mean, look at that, man. That's impressive. So look. This is the point I'm trying to make. This impressive piece of parchment and writing, or manuscript with writing on it, is from 710. This is from before Bukhari was born. So you're telling me Bukhari? I just showed you on a web page that Bukhari had 90,000 students, and you're telling me that these guys in Europe. Now remember, Bukhari is in Uzbekistan, which is in the it's not in Europe, but it's not in some sort of backwater place. You're telling me that these 90,000 Bukhari students, not even like a couple of them, could have gone to taken the whoever, or taken a copy to this place, wherever it was written, got this guy to write out in this, using this high quality ink on this manuscript, and then we could have had an original copy of Bukhari from 840 or wherever, using the same writing. Obviously it'd be in Arabic. Well, it's not Arabic. It'd be in wherever he's from, isn't it? Let's see, where is he from? He's Bukhari's from Uzbekistan. That's it. So if he wrote Bukhari out in his Uzbeki script and you got this guy whoever wrote this one out to do it, we would have had a perfect copy of Bukhari to sit there and just read through. And if these guys can do this, I think my internet might have gone. No, I think I'm still on. I think there's something wrong with the page. Yeah, I think I lost it. Okay. But like I was just showing you there, this, I mean, this book, when you just look at the quality of the writing, you know how impressive it looks. I mean, come on, man. This is in 710. And Bukhari wasn't even born when these guys were writing this impressive piece of work. So then Bukhari is born. These guys who did this, look, Islam is supposed to be like some big belief. It's supposed to be more advanced than the Christian faith. The Christians have already got Sinaiticus Vaticanus and Alexandrinus written out on fancy parchment. So you're telling me these Muslims, if they were real, couldn't have got a copy of Bukhari done on this kind of parchment? You're telling me they couldn't do that, really? Because remember, they had you got Hanbal around at the time. He's supposed to have a big school in Baghdad. So you're telling me in Baghdad they don't have any kind of people who could write something like this? You sure? So this is what I'm saying. This is why one of the big proofs I have for saying that Islam was made up and that it was just made up by some people later on, and that Bukhari is not even a real character. Because if Bukhari was real, all the stuff that he wrote down would have been put onto parchment like this, and we'd be reading it now, and then we could say, okay, at least even if Islam is false, at least it's real. So it's a false belief which is real, and it's got proper writings, you know, that we can use and see. But the reality is stuff like this, all this high quality text is missing, showing you that Islam wasn't serious back in the time of Bukhari. It wasn't. It's only under the Ottomans when Islam became serious. And so this is, you know, what I'm really trying to show is that Islam was just, you know, invented by a bunch of guys at some point in history. And, you know, whatever they invented isn't even around now. So all we've got is the new Saudi Arabia edition of Islam. Of course, whatever Islam was being studied at the time, especially in the time of even Ibn Taymiyyah, it would have been a different one. So I just want to end it off with these. It's the last ones. I just want to show these. So what we got here, when it comes to J. Smith, you'd have seen him. Okay, no, what it is, I had this link, which was to some coins, but it looks as if, I don't know, some Muslims must have got to him, because he used to have the pictures of the different coins of the Umayyads and Abbasids. I think because his sight was so good, what he had was so good that it's like I don't know, maybe some Muslims convinced him to get rid of it. So I'm just seeing if I could find. Okay, well, that's not too bad. If he's that's what Umayyad, but he's giving me Abbasid for some reason. So I'm only getting Abbasid coins. I can find some. Well, yeah, okay. That's interesting. No, because they got some coins, but I think it's funny that they're not giving you the datings for the coins for some reason. Because what it is, you can still get you can still get some old like coins from that region, but it's as if The Muslims are trying to make sure that the ones with the crosses on it, that you can't find them, because you can find the ones with the Arabic writing on them. But it seems the ones with the crosses, they're very hard to find. I'm just seeing, I'm just looking at this page and got some different coins. But one is, they won't tell you what year it is. This is Abdul Malik. Because what's happened? Alright, okay. They won't always give you the year, because I think this coin is, this is Abdul Malik again, but you see, got the M on it. I'm looking for the ones with the cross. These are all Malik ones. He's got the swords, and these are the Abbasid ones. Because once he's got the Arabic, then it's the Abbasid. These are the older ones because he's got the fire altar. But notice that it says that these are Muawiyah, Umayyad. So notice these Umayyad coins have got the picture of some Zoroastrian on it. Now these coins definitely are Islamic, that's for sure. So what that shows you is that Muawiyah or Umayyads weren't Muslims at all. There was just some weird, they just believed some strange thing. Because you always have to have this weird looking guy on the front of their coin. Because the Abbasids, they've got the Arabic. So obviously, but when you go to anything relating to the Abbasids, you see the Arabic. But Umayyads, they won't have the Arabic on it. So this is just got the fire altar. And so this is Umayyads again. So these are Spanish Umayyads. So the Spanish Umayyads were they had the Arabic, and then this is the Arab, Umayyads. The 705, yes, that's Abdul Malik. All the ones where he's got someone holding a sword, that's always Malik, Abdul Malik. And as you can see, this one here, he's got the sword, but it's got that little crossing piece there. And you see see this weird little thing. See, sometimes the cross piece isn't there. And it's got the M on the back. This one's a bit weird. That's some spooky looking. Who's this? This is Umayyad again. Cross above to the left and right. Name in Greek. Yes, you've got the cross there and a cross there. And so remember, this ain't no Christian website. This is coinarchives.com, so they could care less about whether you're Muslim or Christian. All they care about is coins. If it's got a cross on it, they don't care. He's holding a cross there. This is Umayyad again. Notice the M is still there. And you see, and this is the main evidence how you know that the Umayyads were not Muslims at all, because they would never have these crosses on there. And you're not going to do a coin with two skeletons sitting beside each other. But no Muslim's going to do that. Why would you do that? That's just madness, isn't it? Because Muslims would do this, look, just Arabic. That's what they do, and they even have coins like that now. But any coin which has got like some spooky guys on it, that's not, they're not Muslims. So they'll keep telling you the Umayyads are Muslims, but their coins say otherwise. These are Spanish Umayyads again, isn't it? These ones are quite cheap though. Yeah, $60. This is not much. But yeah, these are the ones with it's got upside down menorah on it. So this is supposed to be Umayyads as well. So now the Umayyads are a bit Jewish. Sometimes they're a bit Christian. Now these ones are a bit Jewish. So it's amazing. These Umayyads are all over the place. And they say these, and then you got some Arabic, but it just depends which part of the empire they're in. So what I'm just showing there is just that how these coins, there's other places where you can find, like, if you look around, you might find a place where the coins are like more sort of high resolution, and you can go and find find out about them. But what I'm essentially saying is that when it comes to Islam, Islam is just really a mess. It doesn't have a proper history. It's not a proper history that you can look up. There are no like decent documents anyway that you can go and find where you can actually go and read about what early Muslims did. It just doesn't exist. But the important thing is that Islam is big now. And so the Islam we have now is the Islam which was invented by the Saudis. The current Islam, of course, or you could say the Egyptians at first, because they're the ones who sorted out the Quran in 1924. So you could say it's like an Egyptian Saudi Islam where they cleaned everything up. Of course, they only gave you whatever information they want you to get.
Israelites will return to take down Islam.